So what's the real minimum wage? Those that are currently unemployed know exactly the answer to that question. Zero. Nothing. Nada. It's what you earn when you don't have a job. If the legal minimum wage is higher than what you produce or what you're worth, then guess what, bud? You're unemployed for the rest of your life. If a person produced, let's say, $5 an hour and the minimum wage is 10, he will remain unemployed for the rest of his life by law. Now, let's say you're a business owner, a job creator. Let's say the economy is not going so well, and because the economy is not going so well, the government decides to raise the minimum wage by 10%. Okay, fine. I'll just fire 10% of my employees, or I'll just raise my prices by 10%. That's the whole idea behind minimum wage. Of course, the employer doesn't want to do any of those things. It'll just cost him a ton of money, but he has no other choice, does he? But of course, people get extremely offended when you say there shouldn't be a minimum wage. I don't really know what goes on in their minds. Mine is an extremely unpopular opinion because somehow people believe that once minimum wage is repealed, everyone will magically start earning $1 an hour. Well, not really. Only the people who were unemployed as of this moment. Maybe. Who earn $0 per hour. So their lives will actually increase in quality. Also, there already are people who earn more than minimum wage. So this wouldn't really affect them at all. But anyways, the populism has gotten so bad, but so bad, that Democrats want to raise the national minimum wage to $15 per hour. That'd be a 100% increase in some states. That's what I like to call, my friends, economic suicide. And they know it's economic suicide. But guess what? It gets them elected. And a bunch of people become jobless and start depending on welfare, and boom! You just got yourself a bunch of Democratic voters. But enough bashing on the Democratic Party. Seattle, for example, has already implemented the brilliant $15 minimum wage. I want you to take a guess at what happened. Why don't you take a look at this graph right here. Here you can see that in a matter of weeks, and I repeat, weeks, people started losing their jobs. How wonderful. They used to earn $8 per hour, now they earn $0. Economy protected. Thank you, government, for protecting us from those dirty capitalist pigs. So who does minimum wage mainly affect? I mean, it affects a lot of people, but I'm going to focus on one specific group for now. Teenagers. People my age. That first job is really important because it provides you with experience and also help you climb the ladder and earn more in the future, right? You're not really in it for the fat stacks. Your first job won't usually pay you well. So let's say you just turned 16 and you see that this big fast food chain is now hiring. Let's say McDonald's, right? McDonald's is now hiring. Great, so you go there for the interview, right? And there are other people competing for the same position with the same pay, but they're older and have more experience. Now, who do you think will get the job? May seem obvious, but the teenager has one advantage. They're willing to work for less. Oh wait, no, that's illegal. See, it's like removing the first steps of a ladder. I do not comprehend. Sorry man, you didn't get the job this time. The older, more experienced person got it instead. But I can work for less. Yeah, sorry man, you know, you can't really name the price of your own labor. And it's illegal even if you want it really, really bad and you really, really need it. And it's a mutual contract, an agreement, because the government wants to protect you. Because you're stupid and you can't make your own choices. Love you. Why can't you decide the price of your own labor? Your body is a means of production. And you should decide how much you want to sell it for. Not your body, your labor. You know, I've never understood the whole government needs to protect people from themselves vibe, but whatever. I'll leave that for another video. Anyways, did you know that the minimum wage is a racist law that originally meant to drive blacks out of the market? You know, back in the day, blacks had a major advantage over white people because they were willing to work for less than white people. They demanded less. A bunch of eugenists came along and they proposed a new law that would drive black people out of the market. That is the minimum wage. So let's say white people work for, they want $10 an hour, and black people work for, I don't know, 8. So what they do is they set the minimum wage to $9 an hour, and boom. Now white people have a great advantage over black people. Why? Because of the racism back then, correct? It's funny how it's one of the only government policies that actually does what it was meant to do till this day. But enough talking about theory. Let's talk real life examples, cool? So I want you to please take a look at this chart, okay? Let's do a little mental exercise here. What conclusions can you make from looking at this? Okay, I'm sounding like a teacher now, but seriously, what can you conclude? Well, obviously, you see that unemployment in those countries without minimum wage are extremely lower than those who have minimum wage. Then people ask me, but does that mean that their quality of life is better? So I took the average income of every nation on the list, and here are the results. Keep in mind that all of these are net income, not gross. You see, the evidence is right there. The wages are even higher. But even if they aren't, an employed person will always have a better quality of life over someone who has no income. In conclusion, this should change your mind, but if for whatever reason it doesn't, you want to still debate me, or you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Or if you know me, just hit me up, you know? Bye.